Well, good morning to everyone. I'm very happy to see the screen from this side of the world. My name is Ankita Puri, and I am the founder of Generation Alpha Education Services. We are an outreach company in the education sector, and it's always a pleasure to develop strategic talent partnership between the universities, the schools, and the corporate world. We are very happy to host each one of you from Ludhiana today. And with me is my team and our renowned speaker on the screen, which you see right now. There is a small agenda which has been shared by my colleague Mrinalini. Mrinalini is our outreach manager, and she has been very instrumental to make this event happen today. I welcome you all. My rest of my team, which is seeing us today and doing the back-end support to make this event completely successful. In series of welcoming, it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Anuja Kaushal, the principal ma'am, and Dr. Kiran Sani, the CEO of the school. Thank you very much for this opportunity and for this platform to let your children learn and grow. Every minute, every hour of growth of these children, it makes a difference in their life. So thank you very much, and we welcome you today. And it is important for each one of us to know about our speaker today. Mr. Vasu, a very warm welcome to you, and allow me to talk a bit about you so that our students know and they can remember you from various achievements you have done in past, and it brings a motivational impact in their lives. So, dear students, it's an opportunity for me to introduce Mr. Vasu. I personally call him Mr. Vasu, and I think he's well known by this name in the professional community as well. He is Mr. Vasudevan Kidambi, the last mile man, a distinguished professional in corporate operations and consultancy. As managing director of Nevo Management Consultants and the director at Genesis Corp, Dubai, he leads the integration of generative AI into business strategies, revolutionizing AI-enabled content development. He's renowned for his pioneering work in the art of problem finding. Vasudevan's curiosity-led critical thinking has transformed global consulting services, and I am a witness to that. I attest to this information completely. He is an avid educator and AI thought leader. He has inspired countless students across the UAE and in India through his insights on digital transformation. Today, he is here at BCM Arya School to deliver an enlightening session on generative AI. So without further ado, my dear students and the respective leadership of BCM Arya School, I pass this platform access to Mr. Vasu. You may please do the screen share. The audience is all yours. We are recording this session for everyone's benefit. I will go on mute after this, and I will be one of the student audience from this side of the world. Over to you, Mr. Vasu. Thank you very much for joining.
Starting off this interaction, wishing you a cheerful and lively morning to everyone here. I would like to extend my warm welcome to you all. Today, we are diving into the topic that's transforming our world in ways we might have only imagined a few years ago. How artificial intelligence is changing our daily life. Artificial intelligence is no longer a buzzword or a distant concept. It's woven into the fabric of our daily life, making our life easier, efficient, and a lot more fun. Once the stuff of science fiction is now a pivotal part of our everyday lives. It's seamlessly integrated with numerous aspects of modern life. But what exactly is AI? It's a simulation of human intelligent processes by machines, which include learning, reasoning, and self-correction. Beyond everyday conventions, AI is bringing truly exciting changes to education, making learning more fun and interactive. Without further ado, let's begin this enlightening session by extending a warm welcome to our worthy principal, Dr. Anuja Kaushal, our COO, Dr. Kiran Singh, and a very moment of excitement by Ankita Puri, who is our organizer from Generation Alpha Education Services, who made the integral role in conduction of this enlightening session. Thank you, ma'am. And our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Vasudevan. He is a leading expert in AI and education, a certified independent director, a renowned businessman, and famously, like ma'am said, last mile man. He has a stellar track record of delivering guaranteed results in improving net profits. He is the one who excels in problem-finding methodologies, generative AI for speed, quality, and effectiveness. Thank you, sir. Your wealth of experience in developing innovative AI solutions are helping transforming the classrooms around the world. This is the forefront of groundbreaking projects that is leading that personalized learning experiences, making education more engaging, accessible for students everywhere around the world. Thank you, sir. Now I would like him to go ahead with this enlightening session for telling us with the guidance of artificial intelligence.
Over to me.
Over to you, Mr. Vasu.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. And good morning, my dear students. It's been a pleasure and it's a wonderful opportunity for me to talk to you. So, yeah, good morning, my dear students. And first of all, thank you, Dr. Anuja Kaushal and Dr. Kiran Sani. Wonderful opportunity. I have been talking to a lot of minds, like what Ankita was telling, but talking to youngest minds for the first time. Quite excited about it, and thanks for this opportunity, Ankita, for this. Right? Okay, so now I will take a 10 seconds pause while I keep talking. I will also share my screen. We straight away jump into the topic. So we are on reasonably on time. All of you must have heard of AI, generative AI, ChatGPT, and all that. My job is the endeavor would be to share things that you probably would not have heard. And I will also make certain amount of, add certain little bit of humor. So I have to keep the young minds engaged also. So I made an attempt on that as well. Future crafters. So crafters, we all understand. No, actually, we all think we all understand future. And future crafters, we all understand, right? But I will start with that itself, the word future itself. So today, future is not something that what we all understand. So I have a three-part to my presentation. The part one will be the why should I learn generative AI? You know, it's very important. We learn many things and we don't know why are we learning that, right? We do many jobs, we don't know why. So for me, why becomes a critical component. So I will put my 15 minutes of my time to make you all understand why we should do this, first of all. Then I will go into a little bit of ChatGPT, and then I will just wrap it up a little bit faster towards the end, which is all about the generative AI tools, which always can be learned. But the critical component is why. So the key word today is future. What if I tell you the future is no longer an extension of the present? Now that will be something you'll all be curious to know what is the statement all about, right? So the future, we all know that we are leaping into the future at in an exponential manner. Second word is called exponential. We all understand exponential, but what is exponential? So these terminologies, in fact, I have one of my books is all about corporate confusions and conundrums, where I had to explain the meanings of many words which we think we understand and we did not. So exponential, all the students, mathematics, you would have definitely learned the exponential series and all that. But let me make an attempt to give a correct understanding and easier understanding. That's why people call me last mile, because we think we understand, but then the last bit is something that confuses us a lot. So if you take 30 linear, will reach 30 meters, assuming one step is 1 meter. So you all can imagine where you will end up. Stand up, and then if you will move 30 meters, you know where you will reach. But the moment I say exponential e to the power 30, that means that you take an aircraft and then move around the world 26 times. So that is the meaning of exponential. So we, in a layman, we need to understand the world, the speed with which the world is moving. And when we say exponentially, it is really exponential in terms of where the world is moving. Therefore, in this context, we need to understand what is this word called future. And another thing, future is not something that is just happening to us. History used to happen then, but now the future, we are creating the future every day. We are making the future, and it's not simply that it's made only in United States or China, or even today from a technology point of view in India. But now, if you will see, all of us right from the class 9 that we are all there, we have started running. Now, who is chasing you all? On one hand, during the daytime, teachers are chasing you. Right? You go back home, your parents are chasing you, right? All of them into the academic world. I mean, you will have a class 10, class 12, and so on. But the run is not going to stop. The run is going to be continuous, because I'm going to say the future is not about tomorrow. But then what happens? Is it about today? Question, right? So this is why understanding future becomes extremely important. When I say it is not about tomorrow, then what is it? Now, it is all about the future has already arrived. And I would just say it is knocking the doors as we speak. Now, I even go one step further and I say the future is sitting next to you. right? It is just that we have not paid attention and we think future is somewhere after we finish our graduation, after we finish our post-graduation and so on. No, it is not so. This is the new definition of what a future is. Robotic surgery, driverless car, 100 million songs in Spotify, all these things, including the unmanned aircraft. I will pass away. All these things are reality today, right? These were thought of as something coming in the future 5 years before. Now, we'll keep those technology on one side. This piece of news, I do not know how many of you are aware of that from the faculty. This piece of news was mind-boggling to me that Microsoft and the Tamil Nadu Education Department have partnered early this year. You can see the dates to pilot for rural schools. And what are they doing? They are commoditizing the AI-based education. They've done it for 14 schools. They have now expanded it to 100 schools as we speak, and they are ramping it up to 1,000 schools. And the moment they cross that threshold, it's going to be pan-India. And what do I mean by commoditization? It is rural schools from class 6 onwards. So these students are going to have AI knowledge before even they finish their schooling and secondary schooling. This is a mind-boggling situation, as we can imagine. And these are all futures that we are creating as we speak right now, right? Now, look at what's happening outside India. And this is a piece of news from Singapore early this year. And he's a member of parliament in Singapore. Let's listen in to him for a minute.
Halfway across the world from Singapore, a tech company which is already changing the world, a tech company called OpenAI, which brought you ChatGPT not too long ago. That company announced a new platform, a new AI platform called Sora. Sora allows you to key in text, type in some text, a prompt, and it can produce videos which are indistinguishable from what Hollywood can produce today and what smaller studios can produce. So that's the world today. Technology disruption happening very quickly. New challenges everywhere. The unexpected, increasingly the norm. And so we can't hide from these changes. No country, no economy can hide from these changes in the world. Even if an entire country tries to prevent AI from entering its borders, other economies will do so. And this is why the new subsidy for Singaporeans aged 40 and above to pursue another full-time diploma in higher education, this new subsidy in the budget, that's why it's so important. Because it recognizes that in a world that's changing so quickly, what you learn in school, in education at age 20, may have changed, transformed, been replaced by a new world by the time you're age 40.
You got it? So the people in the age 40 have to learn new things because all they have learned 20 years before is now obsolete. It's going to apply for all of us also, right? This is the kind of world that we are living in. Now, back to a little bit on Punjab, Haryana, I was amused to see the high courts are already using ChatGPT to even grant bail. And listen to
इंडिया में पहली बार चैट जीपीटी की मदद से किसी को सजा मिली। ये तो लेटेस्ट न्यूज़ है। जी हाँ गाइस, पंजाब कोर्ट ने एक अपराधी को सजा सुनाने के लिए चैट जीपीटी का इस्तेमाल किया और इंडिया में पहली बार ऐसा हुआ कि कोई कोर्ट आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की मदद से किसी को सजा सुनाया।
चल रहा है हमारा।
Right? So not only Punjab, not only Haryana, even in Manipur, courts have started using AI, generative AI, for even deciding and reaching to certain verdicts. So it is quite mind-boggling the speed at which the world is moving on. So we have to run always, right? The future is for those who continuously improve and continuously prepare. So this continuous preparation and continuous learning is going to be the single largest buzzword. Technology may change, but we as human beings will have to continuously not only learn, but to prepare. Now, when I say prepare, you're always preparing for the future. And when the future is as close as to you, then the whole definition of future changes. The future is the new now, right? And that's where the definition changes. We were all taught like this. Past is something, then past finishes, then the present comes, and then the present finishes, and then the future comes. This is how we were all wired to think. This is how we are taught. But now, post-COVID world that we live in, forget the past. Many things that we did pre-COVID is not even applicable today, right? So, and then the present, we don't know. And this is a classic example is November 2022, first week of November. If I had told you ChatGPT, you all would have told, oh, okay, that's for the in the future. Sometime in the future is going to come. November 22nd on 2022, the whole world changed because the present can evaporate anytime and future can step in, which means we are in the present and future continuously. Isn't it different? Isn't it the definition of future different? And that's where the word, the generative AI and this AI comes. And news to all of you, by the time you even finish your college and postgraduate, the jobs that you are going to take, 70% of the jobs don't even exist today. My God, what happens? What are we preparing for? Which engineering or which stream we are preparing for? This becomes, so how do we deal with this first time in humanity? This kind of situations, what we are going on. You people are going to be probably the first batches. So people who are currently in class 12, by the time you finish your engineering or the post-graduation, which job are we going to work for? We don't know now. You will keep on knowing, which means your future is in your present. So that is your new now. And how do we say that? 10 years before, social media job did not exist, right? Today, 21 million jobs worldwide we have only on social media, right? So now the future, the definition of future is the new now. Simply put, generative AI is just the beginning. Let me just move this. I have my pictures around. Yeah, Gen AI marks the beginning of a rapid changes in the way we work, in the way we live, in the way we do all things. So this is your beginning, right? So future crafters, that was my first part of the story. We'll move on to what is this generative AI. We always confuse between AI and generative AI. It also took me 4 or 5 months time frame in the very early stages to understand, and then we understood that generative AI is all about the created tools for us to use, but all the coders, programmers, system analysts, they are all working on machine learning, natural language processing, expert systems, and all that. So they are techie people. They are all, that's a different part of AI. Generative AI is one portion of the overall AI. AI is an umbrella, it's a broad space in which many techniques and practices are happening, and Gen AI and the models are one part of the whole. We should not confuse between overall AI and generative AI, right? And we will understand it much more in the next 45 minutes time frame. So people who use generative AI are either academicians or coders or business people like we all, and it is also used for personal research, scientists, whatever, right? So I would not be more focusing on the coders and programmers, but all others belong to the segment that I normally address. Then comes generative AI. If you will find this as your the definition of generative AI. It is like the Three Idiots definition of machine, right? It's a type of artificial intelligence technology that produces various types. Okay, forget it. I'm not going to read that, right? So it's difficult. So I said, how can I make people understand generative AI so that they are not very afraid of it? It's a technology. So all the fear of using technology will not be there. So I would define Gen AI is like having a computer friend, very important underline friend, because it's not just a computer, it's not just a technology, it's a computer friend that can learn and think like we do. So this is how, when you understand it that way, you can put a hand on the shoulder of your friend. So you can put a hand on the shoulders of generative AI and converse with generative AI the way you talk to your friend. So little more to my corporate people, I always tell them that it's a genius intern, it's a research assistant. All of you people, even in class 11 and 12, you do kind of researchers, right? So here is a research assistant for you, a genius assistant. But very important is it needs clear instructions, right? So today, the solution is not a big problem. It's not a challenge. The question is going to be the challenge as we move forward, right? Because to generate solutions and ideas, we already have the technology ready to serve us. But we have a big problem in formulating the right question. Defining the problem becomes the biggest challenge that we have. Let's move on to GPT. All of us have learned it day in and day out, GPT. But what is GPT? I still don't want to remember this. Generative pre-trained transformer. I will never remember this in my lifetime. But however, we can just understand it because we need to understand the technologies, right? It is a general purpose technology. Wow, okay. It's very easy for me to remember and understand. In which case, what were the GPTs of the past? Right, you all must have at least seen this picture, perhaps not seen a real printing press. You have to go to the museum these days to see all of this. These were all the GPTs of the past, which changed the life irreversibly, permanently in the way we were doing all these things. Now, are they the one? From a technology point of view, PC, internet, smartphone, and now AI. These are all there to change things permanently. And then there were many things to understand GPT. An aeroplane is a GPT, right? A car is a GPT, a television is a GPT, e-commerce is GPT, digital photography is a GPT. So anything that is going to change the way we are doing things is general purpose technology. Generative AI is one such general purpose technology. Therefore, why I'm saying all these things, we have no reason to escape from this, right? Ever since the Industrial Revolution, we always started this question, right? Human versus machine. Nowadays, it is more talked of, right? So let's listen to this person and for a few seconds, and then we will understand it better.
मेरी skills वो हैं
और मैं मशीन से बेटर कुछ कर सकता हूँ, मान लिया आज कर सकते हो, 3 महीने बाद जब मशीन आज से 10 गुना बेटर हो जाएगी, इसको बोलते हैं एक्सपोनेंशियल ग्रोथ। मतलब 3 महीने बाद ये मत समझो मशीन 3 गुना बेटर होगी, 10 गुना हो जाएगी, फिर 6 महीने बाद 100 गुना हो जाएगी, 1 साल बाद 1000 गुना हो जाएगी। ध्यान से समझना, ये बहुत बारीक पॉइंट है। अगर ये समझ आ गया तो फ्यूचर में आप एग्जिस्ट कर पाओगे फाइनेंशियली, नहीं आया तो बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम में आने वाले हैं। वो क्या है कि अगर आप ये कहते हो कि मेरे पास में कुछ ऐसी स्किल्स है जो मशीन्स के पास में नहीं है, तो मारे जाओगे। स्किल है मशीन्स को यूज करने की, यानी कि ये जितने भी एआई टूल्स हैं इन सबको यूज करने की, किसी एक को नहीं, सबको यूज करने की, और उन सबको मिला करके कुछ ऐसा क्रिएट करने की जो 1000 लोग मिल करके भी नहीं कर सकते। तो आपकी डिमांड थी, है और रहेगी, क्योंकि
Got it? So we should have skills which computers don't have, or we should have the ability to use the tools, not just one or two, of what the generative AI is making it available for us. Now, in 2023, last year, World Economic Forum interestingly said the top 10 skills in 2027. What is the saleable skills then? 7 out of these skills are cognitive. There are hardly technology in this. And look at the point number 6, curiosity and lifelong learning is a very critical skill. Now, do we have universities, colleges, institutions which will teach you BSc in empathy or BA curiosity? No, we don't. We are left to learn all these things by ourselves. So that is why one of my important points that I tell in many of the speaking forums is every one of us must go beyond. Students must go beyond the syllabus. Faculties must go beyond the curriculum. A CEO must go beyond what he or she does. So this going beyond, this particular slide clearly gives us the message of each one of us will have to go beyond what we are doing. So several things have been brewing over the years. It's not just everything happened overnight. And today we have a plethora of AI tools. Just for your knowledge, it's more than 13,000 AI tools are already in the public space. Now, can we learn all of it? No. Anyway, I've made job much easier as we come to end of the presentation. Every tool and thing of tomorrow is going to be powered by AI, and it will be left for us. Are we going to use them like that man told in that video, or are we not going to, or are we going to stay away, right? This is the key question for all of us. If your skill is 70% routine based, means if that can be, computer can do that, then you are bombed, right? AI will outperform you significantly. But if your skill is going to be 50%, then you are in the waiting list, right? So anytime it can do. So we have to ensure that we are 70% our skills are some things, either you leverage the entire technology and the tools, or you are able to do things which the computers can't do. So computers are learning every day now, which means if we stop learning for 2 weeks time frame, you are already left behind in the race. So this is the race is now going to be permanent and continuous, and only continuous learning is going to help us. Now let's come to this Chat GPT. I'm going to use Chat GPT, but it's not just only Chat GPT. It's a content generation tool like Gemini, Google's Gemini, or you have your Microsoft's Copilot. But we will use the generic term called Chat GPT for the discussion purpose, right? So many of you, all of you should know Chat GPT. Let's add some little bit humor to our talk. Let's listen into what Chat GPT is.
मम्मी ये देखो चैट जीपीटी, आलू चाट पपड़ी चाट सुना था, ये कौन सा चाट है? चैट जीपीटी एक एआई इंटेलिजेंस है, इसे कुछ भी बोलो करता है। तब तो तुमसे भी अच्छा है, बस यही मेरा बेटा होता। मम्मी ये जिंदा नहीं है। हाय हाय, भूतों से खेल रहा है तू, काला जादू कर रहा है। इसको इंसानों ने बनाया है, कुछ भी इससे पूछो ये बताएगा। इसके पापा के खोए हुए मोटे कहाँ है? टमाटर कब सस्ता होंगे? अरे ये सब नहीं बता पाएगा। अरे इसको तो कुछ भी नहीं पता। अगर आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम हो तो वो पूछिए इससे, वो बता पाएगा अच्छे से। हाउ टू ज्वाइन माय बच्चा फोर्सफुली इनटू इंजीनियरिंग, यहाँ आपके लिए 10 तरीके हैं।
Well, so that is more of a humor to add. But let us understand, because as I told, the word called curiosity. And when you deal with ChatGPT, it is giving you an answer. How does it give the answer, right? So when I learned this generative AI, I saw when it was 3.5 version of ChatGPT, it said the technology, the language model has been fed with 45 terabyte of data. Now, this is where I tell each one of you, when you learn something new, don't just take it and then move on. The question is, what is 45 TB of data? Then you get an answer. 45 TB of data, 1 TB equal to 6.5 million documents or 85 million pages. Now you understand the colossal, the structure of what is 45. He is able to give an answer because so much of knowledge has been already fed into the ChatGPT. Now you have ChatGPT 4.0, 4.0 mini, a week back, that version also was launched. So that's about the what it can do for us. If you ask me, other than paying our bills, it can do, and cooking, it can do practically everything. You can get an advice, you can create content, you can chat with it, you can generate ideas, you can brainstorm with this, practically analyze data or whatsoever. Of course, for coding also, for the coding people also. So why did it become so popular? Some of you may know it for sure, and for those who don't know it all, because it took only 5 days for it to attain 1 million subscribers, and that was in the third week of November 2022. What it took 75 days for Instagram and 150 days for Spotify. Then the race started in the world, and that was in the year 2022 end. This slide, just put it in your visual memory forever, because this is a critical slide, and this is a slide with which I explain many of the wrong concepts that we all have, which will come in the next slide. So the entire generative AI is based on natural language processing. Understand each and every word. Natural language means what? Like you and I keep talking, right? That's natural language. When you and I talk, when you talk to your friend, you don't look for grammar, you don't look for correctness of the sentences and so on, right? Contrary to what people generally say, and that's required for a different set of people. As I told you, it is required for programmers, but not for the non-programmers, non-coders like that. So when I say natural language, keep talking like a computer friend, like your friend. So you don't need to worry about this. Is what I'm coming to that. You don't need to worry about the concept called prompt engineering. In fact, I would say even forget the word prompt. Just put it as question. We all understand question, right? So forget the word engineering. It's for perhaps the coders when they are coding, but for all of us, I would say it's all about prompt with comprehensive clarity, right? Ask with clarity, articulation ability, your creative thinking, your brainstorming, all these are important before you pose a question to the machine, right? Yet there is a small magic formula, and this magic formula is nothing but it's a 6 components of what it will make a complete question, right? When you are dealing with machine, you need to tell who you are. That is the persona, right? Are you asking the machine to behave like a lawyer or a teacher or a general manager? So that's to be known. To whom are you communicating? What is the context? What is the task? You need to tell what it should do, right? And more importantly, what is the output format? Today, you can have an output format in practically all forms. It can be a text, it can be an image, it can be, even when it is image, you need to tell whether you want a 16:9 or a 4:3, a portrait or a land. You need to tell the output format. Of course, the tone of the output also. So as long as you are covering all these 6 aspects of asking a question to the machine, you are done with it. You don't need an order, you don't need a sequence, you just talk, you just speak, right? You will again hear about bad prompts and good prompts. If you ask me, I don't believe something called a bad prompt, but I do believe something called lazy prompt. People do this, right? You will find it day in and day, put a lazy prompt, lazy question, half-baked question, half-cooked question, and expect the machine to be super intelligent and deliver the answer. And when you don't get it, you just say, okay, it's not really working for me, kind of, right? But if it is a good prompt, a well thought out prompt, it can be explaining the whole lot. I said, covering all the 6 components of a good prompt, a good question. Of course, as I told you, there are 3, not only these 3 are the main ones, and we have several other tools as well from a content generation point of view. Right now, our next question is, isn't it like any other search engine? There also we used to ask a question, Google gave an answer, but what is the difference between this? Listen to him for a few seconds.
ChatGPT is like a search engine, but extremely intelligent. I also कहता हूँ कि write me a script for a 10-minute YouTube video in which I am taking my wife to Wonderland. तो वो मुझे 10 मिनट की वीडियो स्क्रिप्ट करके देगा पूरी YouTube की. उसको YouTube के एल्गोरिथम्स का पता है, उसको पता है. मैं उससे कहूंगा मुझे थंबनेल किस तरह का लगाना चाहिए, वो मुझे बताएगा. अगर मैं उससे कहूंगा नहीं मुझे ये आइडिया पसंद नहीं आया, कोई और आइडिया दो, तो so it's very far from Google. Google में तो लोगों ने चीजें लिखी होती है ना. ChatGPT के अंदर AI engine है, artificial intelligence engine.
Right, so that's the difference, and therefore you get near final outcome, which you can take it and then move it forward to the next stage of video creation. We then have this problem. We have always seen that ChatGPT many times hallucinates. For those of you who are listening, hearing this for the first time, hallucination is imagination, right? So many times you ask a question, but then it bluffs, whether you are using ChatGPT or any other tool. So then we say, and we are not very sure, and sometimes you also get caught from the teachers also, right? This question was put to Sundar Pichai a few weeks ago, and then he said, no, hallucination is fantastic. It's not an error. And that's where I understood that there is a thumb rule which I created. If you are going to ask or generate facts and figures, it is your responsibility with caution. Right? You need to validate the figures. Don't take the figures and then go and then submit, right? But if you are exploring or ideating, you can ideate from your limits of your imagination. All of us have a limitation. And our limitation of our imagination is whatever we have seen in our last 16 years, 20 years, 50 years, 60 years. That's all we are limited. But the machine is not, has unlimited knowledge. Therefore, it can, if it hallucinates at that time, you are going to get 10 more newer ideas which you could never think of. So hallucination is fantastic if you are exploring, ideating, and brainstorming, but hallucination should not be taken for granted if you are securing history, historical facts, or whatsoever. Remember, this thumb rule always very important, and you can get caught at any given point of time. So to the third part of my presentation, is it this ChatGPT or Copilot or Gemini, is it all alone enough for us to transform? No, 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 no. We need a set of tools. You can't do any repair with just one of these tools. So you need all of these tools. Meaning what? Content, image, video, slide themes, voice, all of it is required for us to communicate holistically. So I'm going to take a little bit of a speed from here because I'm going to end up giving you a slide which I will allow you to take pictures also so that you can further research on your own. So when it comes to content generation, of course, you have all these tools that we have seen. There's a tool called Perplexity. If many of you have not heard about it, it's a wonderful tool because it looks like this. You ask a question, it gives you an answer, but it gives you 3 related questions. That's very interesting, right? Then you say, oh, I forgot that. So let me just go and then understand a bit more on that. So, and then it gives you an answer and it gives you 3 more. It is very similar to Amazon does, right? So when you order a product in Amazon, it will tell you people who have bought this product has also brought 2 other products, right? Then it is enticing you, right? So this is a very interesting tool, especially when you are researching, right? And that you can stop it at one given point of time. So, but apply the thumb rule, very, very important. Not only ChatGPT, every content generation tool will hallucinate. So again, the thumb rule, back to the same thumb rule, right? Follow the thumb rule. This is something that you often, I do not know how many of you have been experiencing this from your teachers. Maybe one of these, yeah, you would have, right? But it's very important for us, plagiarism and AI generated content. These are the 2 things that will haunt all of us, especially when we are using generative AI tools. Plagiarism, obviously, you have Grammarly kind of tools that you will use, but when it comes to AI generated content, we need to first be sure about what extent of AI generated content it is, because we are going to generate from AI, but we also have room for us to use any of these tools to rephrase, paraphrase the whole content, right? But I'm going to give you a caution also, and I will also solve the caution at the end of the presentation. So this is something that it will give you, and your teachers can figure it out, that whether it is or 93% AI generated or vice versa and so on. So therefore, be careful on that front. Again, very, very important. Every tool, starting from your knife, it is the responsibility with which you will all use the tool. And this is also a tool, and there is a responsible usage is very important. I will be showing the same slide towards the end, and I will give you the big mantra as I come to the close of my presentation. Then we have this PowerPoint presentations, right? Images, where do we go? Are we going to go to Google Images? No, 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 we can't, right? It is stale. Everybody has gone. For the last 20 years, time frame, we have been using Google Images. Let's create images of our own imagination. Then we have several tools for that. Imagine.art, Pixel Cut, and few other tools are there. Just to give you a glimpse of these tools, Imagine.art, I can imagine that I want a motorcycle in the middle of a ruined city. And it will give you a motorcycle in the middle of a ruined city. Oh, I forgot. I should have asked for a red color motorcycle. It will give you a red color motorcycle, right? There was a live case for us. Somebody asked me this, a live email also. Last year, you can see the date. They asked me that I have this picture. I want to change the color of the squirrel for whatever reason, imagination, right? I want it to be in purple color. Can I do it? And we said, yes, yeah, there is a tool for that. We have a purple color squirrel, right? How did we do it? 2 clicks using Pixel Cut as a tool. You see this, there are several magic tools are there, and you can expand the imagination and use these tools to make those imaginations become live. Now, there are several set of multi-purpose tools are also available. One such tool is called Simplified. So this tool perhaps does almost 30-40 activities are there. You want to generate an image, you want to erase certain things, you want to change the background, you want to generate a color palette, you want to convert an image, you want to, plenty of tools are all there. Again, these are all set of magic tools that can be used. So all these magic tools are 2 clicks, 3 clicks, and you can get what you really want. So your imagination is going to be very, very critical in the whole thing. And I think some of you would definitely know Canva. Canva is becoming a fast AI tool. It used to be there for quite some time as a presentation tool, but now it is gaining every month, every week. Lots of magic tools that are embedded into Canva. Canva is a very, very important tool for all of you to practice right from your class 9 onwards itself, because all of us do presentations from time to time. And equally important is your slide themes. We always wanted PowerPoint presentation to be they're the best, right? So in which case you have presentation go.com or PowerPoint universities, or of course Canva is always there. But there is, you would have been seeing many people are saying, okay, create a PowerPoint presentation in 2 minutes time frame. I said, is it possible? And many times I found that it was not possible until I I touched upon the tool called Gamma. Gamma is a tool that you can start thinking, create your content, ask ChatGPT to create a script content, and you can just take that script and then feed it into Gamma. It can give you quick, nice presentation. It may not be a final presentation, but it's a good enough a presentation for us to drive home a concept if we have to do in 2 minutes time frame, right? So of course you'll get a fast food. It is only fast food. But if you want a feast, you need to wait for it. So feast is different from fast food, right? But fast food is also relevant to our life. So drama is also relevant for us. Then how about adding a voice? Of course, there are some few more tools for that. You can just create your voices. You can add, you can pick up the voice, the correct kind of voice. You can clean your voice. You can speed it up. You can just slow down. All this, everything I'm telling you is just, click off the buttons. And finally, fantastic, it's videos. You are allowed to create videos, right? This was not possible 1.5 years before. We had to engage a company. We need to give them 2-3 days time. They need to engage machines and then use the high caliber resources to create a 1.5 minute video. Today, it is not so. You can just create it in your own regular laptops in 3 to 4 hours time frame. So there are several tools for that, be it Pictory, Video Scribe, and all that. So all of us love this kind of animation videos, and the tool called Video Scribe does it. And then building proficiencies, creating such proficiencies is extremely handy, extremely phenomenal. These are the skills, most wanted skills as we move on, right? This is my AI garage. I have a book that I published, which is called Build Your Own AI Garage. So wherever you go, if you stand up and tell that I know 25 tools to use, that differentiates you from the rest. This is Vasu's AI garage, right? And all along, I was telling you that I will pause for 30 seconds here. You can take a picture of this. You don't need to learn 13,000 tools, but you can just focus on these few tools so that you can be a Gen AI user, a professional Gen AI user. So I'm just going to pause here for 10-15 seconds time frame. Some of you in the front can take the proper picture, and then you can share among the other friends of yours. Okay. I told you towards the end, I'm going to talk about responsible use. The big mantra, the big approach I will tell you is this will break all the myths that we all have. Brainstorming must be yours. Remember, repeat, brainstorming must be yours. Ideating must be yours. These are 2/3 is human part of it. Leave only the generation to the computer. Think big is a concept that you need to carry for life, right? 2/3 majority is human. 1/3 is machine. Life goes on fine. If 2/3 becomes machine, 1/3 is human, we are doomed, right? So always brainstorm, ideate, then go to try. You can do it simultaneously also, but remember, these 2 steps belongs to us. You will not lose your creativity. You will not lose your thinking capacity. In fact, your creativity and thinking capacity will become 10x if we do it in this process. The mantra, the big mantra is big, B-I-G, right? So establishing clarity to the whole thing was my attempt to ignite all your imaginations. But to jumpstart your transformation, you need to get your hands dirty. Nothing like getting your hands dirty. The future belongs to only the few of us who are ready to get your hands dirty. Generative AI is here to stay long. Let's act. It's not going to change. Just adding a little bit of humor to that. And with that, I would conclude my talk, and I will leave the floor open for Q&A. And thank you very much, BCM Arya School Management, Principal, and the faculty. And also thanks to Ankita for this wonderful opportunity. You're on time.
Thank you, Mr. Vasu. Very interesting and very informative. Some of the examples quoted actually brought smiles on the faces of these young leaders sitting there. I now invite questions, queries, opinions from the students community, from the leadership. If you have any opinion, this is the time to interact with us. Let's engage the session.
Very good morning, Vasu sir.
Thank you.
Sir, my question is, many of the tools are paid or premium. Many of these tools are paid or premium version.
Okay.
And
Okay.
second option, if they are providing us the free tools, they are giving us only 10 prompts free. After that, we can't use them. Any option for that?
Okay. I have attempted to answer this question a few times in the past. It used to be free for a much longer period, for a larger quantum earlier. Now everybody wants to make money. Therefore, they have shortened the overall whatever they give you free. Now, I would say, ma'am, welcome to this world of subscription. We have no choice. We were happy to subscribe to Netflix. Didn't we? Did we wink our eye for Netflix? For Amazon Prime, did we think? No, we did not. To subscribe to each and every channel in your television, Geo or Airtel or whatever, we did not. So they were all trailers. This is the main movie now. Therefore, welcome to this world of subscription. We have no choice because it is going to make our job 10x. Now, whosoever spoke before I started, they said they used the word 2 times fun. She was telling, right? It is all about making it easy, making it efficient, and much more than that, fun. Now, even you can make a squirrel, a purple squirrel, it's all fun, right? So adding to all that term, welcome to the subscription world. We have no choice but to enter into this. But as a school, you can approach them and ask them for a lower subscription fees and so on. I think those are all possible. And then that's what we have to do. But I think we have no choice on the subscription fees. We must. So use the freemium, use the free part of it, and then go to premium once you are sure that it is really making a difference in your lives.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, young mind.
Sir, my question is like that. If the chat GPT is based on generative AI, which means it could generate the answer at its own, so it means that no human interference is there. Okay, so IBM says that if AI will take 1.8 million jobs, it will provide 3.6 million jobs. How it is possible?
Very good question. Yes, AI is initially going to take so many jobs, but it is also so. When 30 years before you were born, computers, when computerization was happening, is the same question, same answer, right? It was also this question was asked by a young mind like you. But today you can see the amount of jobs that computers have provided. So very similar to this, AI is also going to provide 62 million jobs will be displaced. That's what World Economic Forum says. But 82 million new jobs are going to be created, right? So history is going to repeat. The jobs will be displaced, my friend. But however, several new jobs are going to be created. As I told you, 21 million social media jobs came from where? Right? It all happened in 10 years. So this entire thing will also take 5 years time frame. This time in this cycle, computerization took 10 years for the transformation. AI is going to take 5 years. But then everybody will run to equip them with the skills. And thereafter, everybody will have to continuously acquire skills every 2 years, 3 years is time frame, whether you're a student, whether you're a faculty, whether you're working in a company, whether irrespective of your age. This is how the whole thing is going to be. And therefore, jobs will make sense. Make sense? Lovely. Thank you.
One more question. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you going to guard ourselves from the bad side of it? Like, there is a Telegram bot which can make a person take a photo naked.
Somebody has to repeat this question. If Mrinalini,
how are you going to guard ourselves from the bad side of it? Like, there is a Telegram bot which can make a person take a photo naked.
Okay. I will phrase your question for my understanding. Your question was, how do we safeguard ourselves from the bad side of AI, correct? Okay. And especially with all this photography and all that stuff, correct? Was that the question? Yeah, okay. So every technology, there's something called, we have to understand technology versus regulation, correct? Today, we are unregulated today. And that is where we have all these questions, we have this fear and all that. So today, this technology is unregulated. Regulation always is delayed. It comes after a delay of time. So we will soon have regulations on all these things, and the bad side will get removed and eliminated. The courts are working on it today, right? So courts and the legal systems are working on it, but it is going to take certain amount of time frame. We are in a transition right now as we speak. So wait for the regulations to come in. Governance will come in a matter of a couple of years' time frame, and then we will find a solution for all these things, right? Every technology has this bad side, but regulators will come and then sort it out. Your traffic rules have come that way, right? Before that, did we have all these traffic rules, regulations? No, there were no traffic police also, right? So the moment this big vehicle started coming, the regulations were put in place. So similarly, this will also be done. Yes. Very good, very interesting questions, very curiosity-led questions. Thank you. Keep this curiosity spirit always.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Vasudevan, for the wonderful information, and it was a beautiful PPT that we have shown. Thank you for this, Ankita and Mr. Nal. It was a great session, dear students, and I will come to the last question, like how to save ourselves from the bad effect of ChatGPT or the generative AI. Dear students, my humble request to you, and I always love this statement, is always a fight between machines and emotions. I discussed with my class also, they are here. Whenever more machines, emotions will go at the backstage, it will take a backseat. But you have to strike a balance between the two. You have to work for technology because you have to move ahead and go ahead with the world and whatever is happening, whatever is being taught. Because you are the future and you have to adopt that. But besides that, stay connected to the ground, stay connected to your roots, the values, especially those Indian values that the whole world looks after. They come for yoga and peace and everything. You follow both the practices side by side to maintain a balance. Only that could help you to live a better and a comfortable life. So you have to work hard. You have to move ahead and learn technology. Technology is the new black. So thank you so much for such a wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone. Thank you, Mr. Nalini. Once again, Vasudevan. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, audience. Thank you, Vasuji. Great interaction, and I'm glad we maintained the timestamp because this is the beauty of any session we talk about. My thanks to Mr. Varun as well, who has been instrumental throughout to have this session go flawless. My one, I have a small request to the audience of the school, the leadership. Once we sign off from the screen and we continue our routine work, it will be a great help if we can compile our experience, our opinions, and put it in a feedback form, which Mrinalini will be sharing with Mr. Varun right after this session, because these feedbacks, the inputs through these feedbacks makes it very a supportive garland for all of us, because we believe in taking feedbacks in every step of our lives, and I'm sure you also are one of those kind souls. So your input will be very, very helpful for us, and it will not take more than a minute of yours, right, Mrinalini? I hope there's no essay writing there.
No, just a very small feedback form.
Fantastic. With that note, thank you everyone, and wishing all the young leaders in this group all the very best for your futuristic growth. Thank you once again, Vasuji. I know in Dubai it was very early for you to wake up and take the session. This was really, really commendable from your end as well. Thanks to entire leadership, which was there in the frame throughout with us. Your presence was very empowering, and it brought confidence in the entire session from both the sides. Thanks, Mrinal, for being there. And have a great day, everyone. God bless.
Thank you so much, everyone.